in my conversations with the president and the administration. He has been very consistent on wanting transparency, and I have not seen a major pushback on this request as long as it protects sources and methods.
Bruce Ohr had told the key people at the FBI that Chris Steele, the author of the document, was desperate to stop Trump from being elected. They knew the Ohr's involvement, both Bruce and Nellie's involvement in producing that document. They didn't tell the court that. Andy McCabe knew. Lisa Page knew. Peter Strzok knew. And Andrew Weissmann at DOJ knew as well.
That was Congressman Mark Meadows and Jim Jordan today calling for the declassification of Russia investigation documents that could reveal big-time corruption at the DOJ. Joining me now, the aforementioned congressmen themselves. Welcome to both of you. Congressman Jordan, the more we learn about Bruce Ohr's contacts with Christopher Steele that predate what we believed we talked about months ago,
right.
Now the timeline has been pushed earlier.
Right.
And yet his wife worked for the Fusion GPS firm. Did they not know this at the Justice Department? Why is this conflict not blaring across every media outlet tonight, given what we've learned?
No,
should be.
Yeah, it should be. But you got a top Justice Department official whose wife's working for the firm hired by the Clintons to produce the dossier. The dossier was the key. And everyone at the FBI knew about it. Andy McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, and now we know Andrew Weissmann, a key player on Mueller's team, knew about it as well.
How early did he know about it?
They knew about it before they went to the court, the FISA court, and that's the key fact. They knew about the Ohr's involvement, they knew about who paid for it, and they knew what Bruce Ohr told us, that he told the FBI what Christopher Steele said, that Christopher Steele, the guy who wrote it, was desperate to stop President Trump from becoming president.
And none of this was in the FISA application, Congressman Meadows.
That's correct.
Well, we don't believe so.
Well, you know, we have not seen the actual FISA application, but from the footnotes that we have, from the memos we have,
can it all be declassified?
Well, that's what we're calling
all of these.
Yeah, listen, the American people need to judge for themselves, and we believe that it is time. Not a month from now, not 2 months from now, but days from now, to declassify this information, show it. And you know what we believe we're going to see, based on non-classified documents, is that information was collected in an abnormal way, it was verified in an abnormal way, and it was prosecuted in an abnormal way, and all because there was a bias towards this president.
Yeah. And that information was never presented to the court, which is what they're supposed to do.
Russia viewed Carter Page as an idiot. They didn't think they of course they want to recruit everybody. They try to recruit him like he's an idiot, not reliable. They didn't put that in the FISA application either, correct? There was no red flag about that. How do you get an application to spy on Carter Page when the Russians themselves tossed him to the side as this is not someone we can.
Well, and Mueller's not even going after Carter Page. I mean, here we are 2 years into it, and we're not doing it. But here's the other thing, Laura, and so I shared with you one of the things that we've recently found out.
Oh, is this his exclusive reveal tonight? Let's hear it.
In a new batch of text messages, is that there was a coordinated effort by those at the FBI to actually leak to the media. We now have documents that prove it, where they leak to the media, then they use the same information to verify the veracity of their claims and actually use that for a FISA warrant. Well, you can't do both.
Wait a second.
So the FBI had a leak to the media strategy, and it's troubling.
So they would leak. So it's like a circular. It's like the game of telephone. Or whatever. It just keeps going around and around. So they leak to the media. Then they cite the media report.
Cite the media
that
report
they leaked to. This is insane.
Yeah.
But how? Why do these text messages? They just keep showing up under rocks.
Well,
where do you get all these text messages?
I've been very critical of the DOJ not.
But they're turning them over now. These are new.
These are new text messages that we viewed in camera.
Okay, so the Solomon report tonight. Again, we referenced Bruce Ohr efforts to secretly reshape the Trump probe started earlier in the summer of '16.
Right.
That's important for our viewers to understand why.
Well, I think the biggest part of that is when it started earlier, it was all supposedly about Papadopoulos. Now we're starting to see that it had nothing to do with George Papadopoulos. It had everything to do. All roads lead to the dossier that was paid for by the Clinton campaign and the Democrat National Committee.
Oh, but there was a footnote in the FISA application that referenced some opponent of the president's might have been.
Most convoluted way you could say it. But it's worse than that. It not only started earlier, it went after they fired Christopher Steele. He continued to meet with Bruce Orr, and the FBI continued to get briefings about those conversations that Bruce Orr was having with Christopher after they had gotten rid of him.
Was he forthcoming behind closed doors? We're out of time, but was he forthcoming behind closed doors?
He was. They actually met with Steele more times after he was fired than before he was fired.
Oh, my God. This is... I want the text messages to never stop coming, okay? Because every time we have you two on, the text messages, it's the text messages. Congressman, thank you so much for coming in.